Ayo, what it do, YouTube? It's your boy Alvin MB10, aka AMR10, and what I got for today is some more NBA 2K23 Next Gen. Now, over the past few days, we have been hearing a little bit of news about NBA 2K24, from Kobe being the cover athlete to it now being crossplay, and yeah, even though we're hearing a lot about it, I figured the best thing to do right now is to drop what I believe to be the best build for Season 8 of NBA 2K23 Next Gen, and it happens to be a Kevin Durant build, which is ironic because I was searching for this build because of how he basically is the cover for Season 8, and I happened to find this one, and low-key, it is nice. Now, as you can see, it is a power forward build, right-handed, jersey number 35, because we are trying to make KD as he is. Height-wise, we are going to put it at 6'10", even though a lot of players have said KD usually looks like he's 7 feet tall, and give it a wingspan of about 7'4", whilst having a body shape of compact, because if you've seen KD play, small in frame. But before we get into the skill breakdown for the build, I do have to say thank you to all of you for all the support you've been showing to the channel. It is highly appreciated. However, I do gotta say, if you're new to the channel and you haven't done so yet, do me a favor, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, as well as turning post notifications on. If you enjoyed today's video and you want to see more content like this, don't forget to hit that like button. And if you have a comment on how you think we can improve this build, as well as anything you want to discuss about NBA 2K24, do me a favor, go ahead and drop that down below in the comments. If someone commented, I'll make a video explaining how I feel about 2K24 from what I've heard so far, even though there's very little to really speak about. Now, starting off with physicals wise, decided to go with a 90 on the stamina because you always got to go with that with majority of the builds because of how much you use it, as well as a 70 on the vertical so we can get those pro contact dunks. 56 when it came to the strength, and then acceleration and speed, we maxed both out just because we wanted to be as quick and versatile up and down the floor as we could be. So that's how we decided to go with the physicals. Now, when it comes to finishing, I decided to go with an 86 on the driving dunk because it does mean we get those pro contact dunks as well as gold limitless takeoff. Driving layup, only put this up to a 70 just because when you think about it, the build is 6'10", and majority of the time people that you'll be matched up against will be 6'9" and below. If you ever do come up against someone who is Giant Slayer worthy, it'll be a big, in which case, yeah, you're more likely trying to get a contact dunk rather than you are some acrobatic finishing layup with how high the Bigs defensive stats most likely are. And then when it came to the close shot, I always put this up to a 76 because I know it always means I get 2 extra badge points at the very least from where it's originally set. And then I decided to put the post control up to a 75 because KD does manage to play a bit out the post. Plus, if you want to have a build, you want it to be as versatile as possible. And as you can see here, it is versatile in its finishing in the guards of it has a nice enough close shot that you can take people down into the post. And then when you get them real low, shoot over them when you have a height advantage. The driving layup is nice enough to finish that through that. Pro contact dunks means you can always rely on that. And then obviously the post control just means we can shimmy and shake as much as we want to. Now, this does mean we finish with 17 total finishing badge points. Again, your personal choice of how you run them. I would core posterize and then go hammer limitless takeoff and a few of the lower tier badges, but that again is up to you and how you play. Now, when it comes to the three-point shot, decided to max this out at an 86. From what I've been hearing from a lot of people, all you really need is a 73 in the mid-range to hit jump shots. And using my SGA build, I have realized that I really don't have a high midi. I have like a 72 and I'm able to knock them. So hey, all I gave you for this build was a 78. Because it meant we get 22 total shooting badge points, and it also meant that a lot of the shooting badges were gold and Hall of Fame at the tier 1 and tier 2 level, with the only one not being Asian threes, but that's because we can't get our 3 ball any higher. Same thing applies to Deadeye and of course limitless range. Blinders we could have gotten higher by improving the mid-range, but I felt like it took away too much, especially with how you only need like a 73 to really hit them. And then when it came to the free throw, put this up to a 75 because again, really and truly with the 75 free throw, you should be able to knock down as many free throws as you really want. All you got to do is find a nice animation when it comes to free throws. Now, ball handle wise, put this up to an 80 because Kevin Durant is known to have one of the nicest handles for guys his height. And then speed with ball, I put this up as high as I possibly could at a 69 just because I really wanted to. Yeah, I feel like it, even though people say it doesn't play too big of a gap on how you play, I personally like to have it slightly up there just because, yeah, I feel it sometimes. And then obviously on the pass accuracy, decided to go to 76 because it gave us that little extra badge point now. And it also does give us gold break star and post playmaker. If I'm you, the only thing I'm looking to core here is maybe unpluckable. And then from there, it's a choice of how you want to run it. Obviously, you got to put quick first step, hyperdrive. Like the ability to get hyperdrive, killer combos, and clamp breaker is such a low tier. I would personally run all 3, but you got to choose how you want to do it. Now, defensively is where the build happens to stand out quite a bit because even though the name it gets is an inside-out scorer, it does a lot on the defensive end. Starting off with an 81 on the interior defense, meaning that we do have the capabilities of getting silver interior lockdown as well as gold workhorse. And then on the perimeter defense, we managed to get this up to a 79 because we were trying to get at least silver challenge on the build, and obviously at a 79, Usually we would be able to get clamps, but as you know, there's a height restriction in the fact that you need to be 6'9" or shorter, and unfortunately at 6'10" you won't be able to get it. But either way, with this perimeter defense, we will be able to stay in front of the majority. And then when it came to the steel, put this up to a 78, meaning we do get silver interceptor as well as bronze glove. And fortunately, they're both tier 1 badges, making them dirt cheap, meaning you can strap both of them on. Yowza. And then of course with the tier, when it comes to the block, we always got to go up to a 93, because on any of these builds that are small forward and above, I always try and get at least gold anchor. And as you can see, at a 93 block, we get gold anchor and gold pogo stick. And then when it came to the offensive and defensive rebound, when I really had to think about it, this build, even though I say it's the most versatile, is not meant to be a big rebounding build. So in that case, we went with an 80 on the defensive side of things, because it means that you can help your centers, plus it gives you a +1 on the badge count. And then when it came to the offensive rebound side of things, we pushed this all the way up to a 74. Now this is because I tweaked the strength when I was messing with some of the other attributes. But yeah, we put this all the way up to a 74 because it also means that you can crash the offensive rebound when there's a loose one. But yeah, the key thinking here is defensive rebound to help the center, offensive rebound if you get lucky. Now as you can see, we do finish with 25 total defensive badge points, 17 playmaking, 22 shooting, and 17 finishing, giving us a grand total of 34, 56, 81 total badge points on this here Kevin Durant build. And if you've managed to get +1 badge points throughout all the seasons, which I believe by now it should be at least 5, and then the +4 you get from my career, that's a 90 badge point Kevin Durant build, which you can do with as you please. Now for the very first takeover, I would go ankle breaking shots, because if you've seen Kevin Durant's highlight reel, the boy, yeah, he drops people off when he hits shots, and it is insane. And then for the secondary take, I'd most likely go along the lines of limitless take, sorry, not limitless, limitless range, or something along the lines of spot or precision, but it's up to you. But me personally speaking, I go limitless range just because, yeah, Kevin Durant's one of the few guys we know that tall can really spread the floor the way he wants to. Now, the players we do manage to get in the shades of for this build happen to be none other than Andrea Karolinko, Kevin Durant, and Evan Mobley. Andrea Karolinko, it makes a little bit of sense outside of the ball handling, because yeah, he wasn't exactly known as the greatest dribbler on the team. Evan Mobley, like with a little bit more development, will definitely fall into that category. And Kevin Durant, of course, that's who the build's made after, so it makes a whole lot of sense. Now, as I did say before, the name of the build that we're given is an inside-out scorer. However, for those of you who've seen, this is basically a two-way inside-out scorer with how it can lock up. It's just because 2K only gives you things in the name when you hit certain attribute caps. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video, which if you did, don't forget to do me a favor and go ahead and hit that like button. If you're new to the channel and you ain't done so yet, don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well as turning post notifications on. And lastly but not least, do me a favor, go ahead down below in the comments and tell me any other videos you want to see, as well as your thoughts on NBA 2K24 and everything you've seen so far. I'll give you one little snippet from how I feel. As long as crossplay doesn't include PC, I'm happy, just because PC being included means hacks. But yeah, it's been your boy Alvin MB10, aka AMR10. I'll catch you in a bit. Deuces.